Hello, today is Friday. It is October 23rd, 2020. I'm going to go over some charts. Again, this is not a recommendation or advice, just going over some charts mainly for my clients so we can keep you apprised as to what's going on and what our thought process is into the election with case count increasing. We'll go through that and kind of show you our thought process. So here's the week, okay? As you can see, the S&P 500 was down. We beat the S&P 500 by about 0.15%. We have 60% invested and 40% in cash. We feel that is a very good position to be in at this point. So we're going to show you kind of the S&P 500 and kind of show you our thoughts, kind of a top-down approach, look at the indexes. Again, rarely are we actually this broad-based. Broad-based meaning indexed. We don't view this being the right time to take a lot of risk and momentum, nor even growth at this point. And we'll show you the moves that we made. So we reduced risk at the top of this red candle right here. Went 20% cash and went broad-based. Obviously, wish would have went more cash, but we switched allocation very near the bottom here and put 80% invested in pretty high growth momentum. Rode it all the way almost identical on the top, which was last Monday, and went 40% cash, which proved to be beneficial. Saved a decent amount over the last 2 weeks, saved about 0.7% off the indexes by making the moves that we made. So again, we feel like we're in great position. So clients that are worried about the election and the impacts that it could have on the market, we're going to go over that. But in reality, whether it's a Republican or Democrat, the market has historically done well. What I think is more important at this point is case count. Case count is increasing in Europe right now, even more advanced than the first wave. So that's something we really need to pay attention to, something we're keeping a very close eye on. So again, a lot of people are going to be more worried about the election and thinking, you know, the way I want it to play out I would not be worried about that. Again, here's kind of a chart. This is not a political chart. This is not saying I want Trump to win. This is just saying facts historically, which means absolutely nothing for the future. Historically, when the incumbent president wins, you have a little more outperformance. Usually when a new president comes in, there's a little uncertainty and then we rebound and it does just as well. So if you think I'm pushing the Republican side, here's a fact for the Democrat side. Historically, under Democrat presidents, the market has performed better. So there you go. I'm not trying to push one way or another. The facts are this. The market really does not care oftentimes who the president is. There's money to be made under each president, okay? So just keep that in mind as we go through this volatile time. Again, we have 40% cash at this point. So if it goes down, clients need to have the mindset that when I have this much in cash, you should hope it goes down. Again, long term, even likely short term from here, I do think the move will be up. I would not be surprised once things chill out a little bit with the election that we have a decent sized rally. Again, the big thing that I'm really worried about is case count. If we get a second wave and that impacts European stocks, that's going to eventually trickle on our market as well. So just wanted to keep you posted there. So again, we're in good spot. We told you several times throughout the week, hey, this will probably ping pong off the 10-day moving average, the purple line, and the 20-day moving average, the goldish orange line. We actually had a quick touch at the 50-day moving average, at the 50-day moving average, quickly sprung up. Now we're going to take another quick dive a little bit further in. Where are you? I wanted to show this first. Right there you are. So this is not what I wanted. There you are. Sorry about that. This is the shorter term version of the same chart. Okay, so this is over a couple weeks in reality. And here's what we've been watching, a few different indicators. Really, it's been a tight range. So the price action, despite it being down, again, the market is not going to go up all the time, period. Price action has not been horrible. Momentum has struggled. Growth has actually struggled a little bit, but it's not dying. It's going to take some time for growth to build some bases and for people just to feel a little more comfortable to take that risk. That's the reality and why we have a decent amount in cash. So what I've been watching, the red, yellow, and green, is the red has held. I mean, that's not a bad thing. You're seeing the channel meaning the red dash. We actually at the close did break out of the channel, which is not a bad thing, but I still want to see it get above the 34.70 to feel like, hey, this could be kind of a cup and handle. I'll show you on the other chart so you can kind of see a cup and hopefully a handle into the election. It's very possible. Again, we're definitely waiting for confirmation. After the close, truthfully, this did go down a little bit. So it's just going to take some time. So again, clients, get into the mindset, when I have this much in cash, you should hope it goes down so I can add in at better prices. Again, probably midterm and definitely long term, this is going to be a nice little opportunity, and we're off the high. So we actually have timed this quite well. I'm pretty happy with the performance. Again, still very broad-based. Something that we understand and know is typically into election, which most people wouldn't assume this, I don't think, is that usually interest rates increase into the election, and as you can see, that has actually been the case. So do we top out here soon? Again, typically it gets around 70 RSI and backs off, but usually when interest rates rise, this is a good thing for financials. And as you can see, let me update this real quick. Where did this end up? Yep, okay. So right around this level, it tends to top out. Let's see if it has some power here. It would not surprise me to see value names. Still has some room to run, in my opinion. So don't be surprised. And I have allocation ready to shift there. I think it's just going to need a little more time. Even small caps and value, I think, do have a decent possibility here. I'll show you small caps for the Russell 2000 real quick. And you can see that it's actually outperforming the indexes, it's been a long time since that has happened. Actually held the 10-day moving average today. So not bad things that we're seeing here. Just kind of understanding trends and knowing that this is very possible going into the election. This is another chart to kind of show you the value versus growth. Value has definitely outperformed as of late. A little move down the past couple of days, but overall still not a bad move from value, playing a little catch up. Again, this might ruin the value rally if case count continues to be a problem. So we have to be very aware of that and realistic about that. Something we're watching, again, the relationship between IWM and SPY. Usually it tops out here. I would not be surprised if small caps outperform if case count can chill out a little bit. I think there is a catch-up trade here. I really don't love a lot of the names. If I get in, it'll probably be broad-based, to be honest with you. But financials have a chance here, I think, in addition to small caps. And again, the largest weighting in small caps is traditionally, at big weighting, is usually financials. So keep that in mind. That's something we're watching. We have a brand new allocation ready to shift. It's funny, weeks like this where you see a ton of back and forth. I mean, as you can see, when I go back to here, like this is it's frustrating price action several times. Like I know the key levels that I'm watching, and several times I either wanted to add or reduce. Usually the best is to do nothing, but it's funny, like I actually made 0 trades this week, but I felt busier because I was actually constantly shifting portfolios or allocation if I were to make a trade. So we are ready to go should either option, if things get ugly, we break support, I have that portfolio ready to go. If we go above and break the channel, then I have the allocation ready to go there. I'm actually still pretty bullish. I think the setup in this consolidation is not a bad thing. Again, from an RSI standpoint, we usually do bounce off, as you can see, right around this level. So do not get too bearish here. This is actually not bad price action, and breadth is not horrible. So we're going to leave it at that. Let me see if there's any more things that I really wanted to focus on, and then we will let you go. But overall, it was a down week, but this is not bad price action, and that's really important to understand. VIX is still a bit elevated. We have to pay attention and realize that. But one thing that's a little odd is the put call ratio. I shouldn't even say odd. It's just a little concerning when it feels like the public is very nervous, but in the trading itself, the put call ratio is still very low. So some would argue there's still a ton of complacency. It could definitely go much higher. But it's kind of one of those environments where I don't know if you're going to see, I think some complacency could be okay here. We'll see. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, we've definitely been much lower than where we are right now. I am surprised that there is this much complacency, but it does not mean the market will not go higher. So again, keep your emotions in check. There's a lot of problems, but historically the market has always gone through it, especially midterm and long term. So we are in great position. I mean, I feel like either direction I can have the portfolio ready to go. I feel like we're in a fantastic position, and you should sleep well at night knowing at any time I can add. I want to be real with you. The market tends to do the opposite of what you think will happen. So I think the majority of people are very, very cautious here, and for good reason. But don't be surprised if we get a little bit of a rally next week. And I will have to add, I have no problem selling into the election again. But price action has not been bad. That's important to understand and watch. The news and all the headlines, it's been headline roulette. It's been nuts. Stimulus is going to happen. It's back and forth. You can't trade that way. You have to be ready to go either way and watch price action. Today, there was times it looked like, hey, we're going to get this through. And at the end, with some of the headlines, it did not look very promising that they were going to get it done. So again, but the price action was good. So again, price action wins. That's all that matters. And that is how we are trading. So I hope you feel like you're in a good position, because I can tell you from a risk reward stance, I feel like we are in a really good position. We beat the market the last 2 weeks by about 0.7% with only 60% invested. That's not a bad position to be in. I feel okay about that. The next allocation will be much more individual names. There are some great setups, but momentum names, many momentum names and growth names are really not doing that great here. So I want to see some bases established. And the thing that's holding us up right now is value, which is not a bad thing. So keep in mind that it doesn't have to be the same names that go up all the time. There could be a catch-up trade here that I won't definitely go all in that ever. But I mean, there are some really good names that are down big right now that I'm like eyeing individual names that midterm and probably short term will be good buying opportunities. So understand there are very good setups here. Let us know if you have questions. Again, feel good about where we stand. It was a little bit of a down week, but I feel like we're in really, really good position. I hope it goes lower so I can just add, because I think after the election chills out and things chill out a little bit with COVID, that this could really shock you how high this could go. So have a good weekend. Enjoy the weather. Sorry if the internet went out at any point in this, because we were getting drilled with hail during this session. So have a great weekend. See ya.